No one in the hospital room was prepared for what was about to happen. The heart monitor showed a slow, almost lazy rhythm, as if time itself was giving up on that fragile body. The family stood together in silence, some sitting, some standing, all with the same empty look of people who had already started saying goodbye inside. Then, when everyone believed it would be just another ordinary ending, he opened his eyes. It wasn't a weak movement. It was firm, unsettling. He struggled to breathe and, with a strength that didn't match his condition, grabbed his eldest granddaughter's hand. His voice came out hoarse, almost a whisper, but clear enough to freeze everyone in the room. "You've been living a lie, and I let it happen." The words fell like an unbearable weight. No one breathed. No one dared to interrupt. It was the beginning of a confession buried for more than 6 decades. Throughout his life, he was known as a simple, proper, predictable man. He worked, came home, honored dates, never raised his voice. An ordinary grandfather, a quiet father, a silent husband. But in that hospital bed, that image began to crack. He revealed that before the family everyone knew, there was another story. A hidden love, a decision made out of fear, and a deal that should never have been accepted. He said someone had been left behind. Someone who paid the price for his choice to take the easier path. Each word sounded forced, as if he were fighting something he had tried to silence his entire life. The faces around him changed with every sentence. Confusion, shock, disbelief. This wasn't delirium. It was guilt. And old guilt is always precise. When the name was finally spoken, no one recognized it. It wasn't a relative's name, not a friend's, not found in any album. Still, the impact was immediate. He explained that the name was tied to a child who had never been introduced to the family. A life that went on without answers. A mistake he believed time would erase, but which only grew in silence. The granddaughter tried to ask questions, but he stopped her. He said he didn't want forgiveness, only that the truth wouldn't die with him. That someone would have the courage to look. That someone would finish what he had started wrong. Minutes later, the monitor emitted a long, continuous tone. The silence returned. But it wasn't the same. Something had been broken forever. Days after the funeral, the family gathered, trying to decide whether it had all been a final confession or a dying man's illusion. Then a box appeared, hidden, old. Inside it were documents, a faded photograph, and a letter never sent. Everything pointed to the same person, the same story, the same absence. From that moment on, there was no pretending. The past demanded to be faced. And the deeper they went, the clearer it became that this revelation would not only change the image of the man who had passed, but the place each of them held in the family itself. Because some secrets don't just destroy the ones who keep them. They rewrite entire destinies. And that story, which began with a whisper on a deathbed, was far from over.